So how can peace emerge from disorder? It's not possible. But to soften the message down to a level of acceptability, this is impossible apparently. No man would desire to leave the world and return to God before his death. At death, he would return to him willy-nilly anyway. But let's talk of some other formula which is down-to-earth formula which is possible. We can begin to inch our way to God, if not return to Him in total. And that is something which is possible for every human being, and it should be started at some time in one's life. Because man has always two options open to him, either moving in the direction of God and godliness or moving away from Him. There is nothing stationary. It's only a false notion that one is securely settled and he neither moves on this side nor on the other. Those who are not nearing God, they are always distancing themselves from God. So this is the formula which has been provided to us by the Holy Founder of Islam, that if you cannot return to God in total, if you think you have sinned away the time of your forgiveness, then start moving towards Him. This message was conveyed to us through a most wonderful simile. I mean, something which seems to have happened but didn't happen like it happened in the tale. But it's a story-like thing which is potent with deep wisdom and messages. The Holy Founder told his companions of a sinful person who was so sinful that beyond that a sinful person could not be conceived. He had broken all laws. He had transgressed all limits. His crimes against God reached their limit. His crimes against humanity reached their limit. And he had committed so many murders. So, only a few left from the tally of 100. He hadn't reached yet his century in murders, but was quite close to it. So one day he decided, maybe my time of returning to God is near, let me do something about it. How long will I live a life of sin? So he inquired about the saintly people, and he was told that there is one saintly man who may tell him an answer to his dilemma and offer him some solution. So he went to him. And when he heard his list, like in Catholicism, they hear the list of crimes in confession, he was abhorred. He said, "You think you can still be forgiven? You can still be redeemed? Forget about it. You're lost." He said, "Is that right?" He said, "Yes, it is." He said, "If I'm lost, then one added murder would do me no harm." So he murdered him. And then he went to another divan, another, until the tally reached 99. Now the numbers are just similes, they're symbols of perfection of something. And then he reached a divine person who was really godly, who was humble, who knew what forgiveness was, who knew how people sin. So he went to him and he recounted everything. He said, "Yes, I know it seems impossible, but God is limitless. We are limited people. Our crimes also have boundaries, but God's mercy has no boundaries. So change yourself, begin to change yourself, and hope for the best." But he said, "How can I begin to change myself?" The answer was, leave the city of the sinful and move to the city of the pious. Now this is a symbol, like a parable of Jesus Christ, It meant leave the society of the sinful people and move away to the society of those who are pious people. That's the only way. But symbolically it was demonstrated in a different way. In that anecdote, the Holy Prophet said that he left as if it was a real city of sinful against a city of the holy people. He left the city of the sinful and started his journey in the direction of the city of the pious people. There is a long, long way between the two, big distance. So he was moving in that direction when the old age ultimately overcame him and he saw the approach of death. And he was so worried that he started crawling in the direction of the city of the pious. Then death overtook him. Now, in that anecdote, it is told that the angels who are responsible for forgiveness and the angels who are responsible for punishment, they had a big quarrel among themselves. And they presented their respective cases before God.